Hold on. Hold on, everybody. I put up a picture over my own screen. That is the one thing that went wrong for the Packers today. Crack open a cold one, guys. The 2023 Green Bay Packers just did what nobody said they could do. And you know what? I have a feeling that maybe we can go do it again next week. How does that sound, guys? Mm. Oh my God. I mean, where, guys? Where does this game rank for you in terms of Packer games that you've seen, that you've watched? I mean, there is still so much more that this team should and could accomplish this year before we start calling before saying anything about, what this team means and what they have done this year. But I mean, holy shit. You just went into Dallas with a first time starting quarterback in his very first playoff game, and all everyone was talking about, I included, everyone was just go in, be competitive, let's get these guys playoff experience. Instead they came in and set records. They almost dropped a 50 burger on one of the best defenses in the league. They essentially shut down one of the most explosive offenses in the league at a place where they have not lost in almost 2 years. I think I saw 16 games in a row. They didn't lose at home this year. It goes back to last year, I'm sure. That that is insane for a team like this to do that. Holy shit. Like, this has to be up there regardless of what happens. Regardless of what happens next week. This game and this performance has to be near the top. Like CJ Cox said, it ranks high on the all-time list. This has to be up there with one of the best postseason performances we've ever seen out of the Green Bay Packers. Yeah, wow, just wow. I don't know. I don't know if there's really anything else more you can say about that. Sorry, I'm getting I'm getting people together here. I'm looking at stats. I'm looking at stuff coming in on Twitter here. I mean, really, this is just the first year. You know what? That's a good point. Braden brings up the first 7 seed to win a playoff game. So 0-2 or 0-4 uh so far this year, or so far with the 7 seed. I can't remember what it I know they were completely they were winless. I think it was 0-4 all time. I'm trying to remember how many times there's been a 7 seed now. But holy shit, guys! Like I need a cigarette after that. I mean, the stats speak for themselves here. It's again a 48-32 win for the Packers over. I know victory chain. I misplaced the victory chain. The victory chain will be back for this week. Trust me. Don't worry. It'll be back. It'll be back. Um, I think that, yeah, there we go again. Everyone just holy shit, literally speechless. I mean, goddamn. Jordan Love, what the hell? 16 for 21, 272 yards, 3 touchdowns, a near perfect passer rating. I think I missed the very, very end of the game. Did he come in and throw one more incompletion? Because I thought he finished with a perfect passer rating. I was putting the kids to bed, so I missed the very, very end. Um, but I mean, that regardless of 105.7 or 157.2 passer rating for Jordan Love. And then Aaron Jones, 21 carries for 118 yards and 3 touchdowns. Okay, Tucker Kraft dropped the pass. Got it. We're all going to count that. It's a perfect passer rating. We all know that in our hearts. And then I mean, it just they go and then so Aaron Rodgers, fuck no, Jordan Love those 272 and the receivers, Jaden Reed. They mentioned this in the broadcast. The leading receiver for this team and didn't have a single catch. Ended 0 for 0, targeted 3 times, no catches. Romeo Dobbs, out of nowhere, 6 catches, 151 yards, and a touchdown. Um, I've said it before. I said it on Twitter during the game today. Romeo Dobbs is like the canary in the coal mine for this offense. If he is catching passes and he's making plays, the rest of this offense just seems to figure it out. If he is doing the things he should be doing, the rest of this offense just feels like it clicks. You know, yes, Dobbs, the man. He is the man we thought he was, right there. Um, and I think that's just again, it goes to this whole thing again. Christian Watson, 1 catch. Tucker Kraft, 2 catches. Musgrave, 3 catches for 52 yards. Romeo Dobbs was the man. But then you split it all down. Musgrave a touchdown. Dontavian Wicks touchdown. Yeah, Dobbs has triple the yards of everybody else, but they spread this ball out over everywhere. And I would love to go back to whoever that was. I think it was Jane Slater from NFL Network talking about how this offense is one-dimensional without Christian Watson. Christian Watson received 1 target, 1 catch for 9 yards. This team is not one-dimensional. This team is a 3-headed monster. Jordan Love, Aaron Jones, and just this hydra of pass catchers. Right, exactly, defective. When you have 5 guys on this team that can be wide receiver 1, how do you stop it? If this offense is clicking and moving, you can't zero in on one guy. It goes back to the Devontae Adams years, those last couple of years with Aaron Rodgers. Defenses could focus on Devontae Adams, and it takes away so much else because there was nobody else to step up and take that role. Alan Lazard wasn't going to do it. Randall Cobb wasn't going to do it. This team you could right now go down the list: Dobbs, Musgrave, Wicks, Kraft, Watson, Melton, Reed. You could pick out of a hat, pick one out of a hat, and that's who's going to be your leading receiver this week. Game plan for one, the other ones are going to kill you. They're going to find a way. Now, obviously, this changes drastically going into next week because it is one thing to do this against the Cowboys at home in the wild card round, right? You could argue that now you've alerted everybody. This was a statement game. You've announced yourself to the league. You're not going to catch San Francisco napping. They are a different level than the Cowboys. And I think what today showed is that you can go into San Fran and you can be competitive and possibly pull out a win if you do. But don't expect it to be like this week. That I hate to be, Captain Bring Down here, but this was you came out and you got a good uppercut on the guy right out of the ring, and they couldn't recover. They're not going to let you do that against San Fran. I don't know. It's going to be a much more gritty, grinded out win. And so that now becomes the thing. Each step now is, there's a new challenge to keep for this team because this team has never been to this level before, or at least most of them haven't, So, like, going into this game, it's your first road playoff game against a big team. What are you going to do? How are you going to respond? And then even in the game, you go up huge on a team at halftime. How do you respond coming out of that half? Do you keep the pressure on? Do you ease up? Do you start to coast? Now, how do you respond after a big win over a huge rival on the road, team that hasn't lost at home? How do you now respond this week? How do you prepare? Do you start listening to all the noise about how good you are? Do you start, feeling a little pumped up about everything? No? How do you respond going into San Francisco is now the big question. And I am so happy I get to have this guy in here to talk with me. It wouldn't be a game on Wisconsin Packer post game party without this guy. A buddy,
What's
Ummer,
up, baby?
you
What's up, dog?
doing?
Woo! Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Woo!
God damn, man. Can you you
Can't.
Ummer, you said I think you made the joke last week on the post game that it's the Paul Rudd meme. Like, who would have thought? Who would have thought
Yep.
we
Who would
would
have
be
thought?
here?
Yep.
Who would have thought we'd be here talking about this kind of game against the
And
Cowboys?
our man, like from beginning to end, took the ball, went down the field, scored. Jordan had 16 completions out of 20 attempts, three
Hmm.
touchdowns, hella efficient. Hell, if Kraft catches that ball, he probably keeps his perfect quarterback rating,
Yeah, that's
right?
right.
And I'm sorry, like all week, all I kept hearing was we're gonna get boat race. No seven seeds ever won. We just should be lucky to be here. That we're not that great, and Jordan Love's not the answer. And then he starts playing well, but he's never played against this defense. Blah 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 blah. Now, and sad thing was Joe Barry was trying to give that game away at the end. Like I don't know what he was doing, but like
Yeah, no kidding.
I wasn't feeling that. But my props to him because his game plan worked. They were setting blitzes. They were changing up coverages. Um, it was just a complete game, and just the fact that we just like it seemed like our offense just could not be stopped. Like it was, man. I think I saw stars so many times from the amount of yelling I was doing at the TV for just how happy I was.
I
And
on the Savage pick six.
yeah, yeah,
I
I
need
lost my
I was like, whoa, like I jumped up too fast. I was like, whoa, okay.
I lost like consciousness for about 10 seconds. It was crazy. I don't know what I was doing, but I was definitely screaming. Um, and dude, I just don't think like people get it where this team was supposed to be in a rebuild. We were supposed to be, lucky to get 6 wins. Just so much hate, so much vitriol against our team and even against our quarterback who hadn't even played yet. And for
Hmm.
him to do what he's doing, oh man, I'm on absolute cloud nine right now, bro. Like I just can't, man. I just can't.
I mean, I look, I said it before. Like, if you can go into Dallas and beat Dallas,
Yep.
you can beat anybody. The
Yes.
49ers are completely different, and that game is going to be it is going to be a complete 180 in this. You're not going to go in there and put 48 up against San Francisco. I
I'm,
don't think.
I don't think so either. But who thought we would have
But
done that against Dallas, right? Like,
that's fair. That's
and think about
fair.
it. And let's be real. Like, as much as great as 12 was, as great as Rogers was, 49ers was a bugaboo. Like, it
Hmm.
just really was, right? Like, the pressure, he just could not do anything against that defense. That defense is different, though. Steve Wilkes is completely different from Salah and from Ryan's, right? So, and we just saw the Niners get blown out by the Ravens. We've seen them look pretty vulnerable. I don't know. I've, the fact that we've been counted out and no one's giving us a chance, and the fact that LaFleur knows that too, and he's telling them, hey, we're going to go in there, we're going to throw haymakers, we're going to do whatever it takes to just put up the best game we can do. And damn, man, like, I don't give a shit if Aaron Jones don't play all season. If he's there for the playoffs and this is what he do, sign me the fuck up. Todd said that. Todd said that shit, and I was like, yo, I'm 100% with you, bro. But it's like Zach Cruz had put something up about like how in 2010 it's like almost history repeating itself. We had to beat the
Mm-hmm.
Bears to get in the playoffs. We had to beat an
East. Yep.
NFC East team. Then we would have to play the number one seed, which would be again the same thing like we did then Atlanta. Now it would be Niners. And then
Mm-hmm.
if somehow Detroit wins these next two games, we would go to Detroit and we would be playing an NFC North rival.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, if the script writers had some shit mixed up, dog, all I gotta say is like, woo! Like I was doing dry January and I kind of broke it the last 2 days, and then I wasn't gonna drink today. I was just gonna be like, man, I'm not drinking today. But now I'm like, man, I kind of want to do a celebratory drink, dog. Like, oof.
I mean, this there's no downside anymore. There is none.
No,
Like you, even if you go to San Fran next week and it ends poorly,
right?
you still went into Dallas and beat Dallas. You did that. Like that's not a fluke. Like
No,
what happened today is not a fluke.
no,
That is a
no.
good team beating another good team.
Who was undefeated at home? They
Undefeated
were
at home.
that. They were a highly efficient offense and defense. They were just killing everybody. And if it wasn't that, the only downside to this winning is Joe Barry keeping his job. That's the only downside. It's the only downside. It's the only
Well, here,
downside.
hold on. Let me ask you this question because this thought crossed my mind like halfway through the third quarter. Okay.
Okay.
And I look, we're playing with house money at this point. So
Yep.
I feel like
Yep.
we can talk about anything at this point.
Yeah, of course.
Let's just say
Mm-hmm.
crazy talk.
Mm-hmm.
The
I
Packers
know where
go
you're
through
going.
this
I know. I know
and
you're
win
going.
a Super Bowl.
Yep.
Is winning a Super Bowl this year worth re-signing Joe Barry and sacrificing the next 2 or 3 years potentially, but getting a Super Bowl this year?
I would never say no to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Never. On the same hand, too, though, if it wasn't for like even this game, right? If it wasn't for maybe some poor decisions by the coaching staff to put the backups in and shit like that,
Yeah.
Joe Barry literally gave Dallas Cowboys life, right?
Right.
And like I don't see him shutting out anybody. And if the only way I see he keeps his job is like if he's shutting out people, right? And
Sure.
I mean, Jair and Savage both made amazing plays. Let's be real, right? Like that was a bad pass by Dak, and another one was like Savage broke off his coverage and played robber. But like, part of me is like, no, I think LaFleur knows that Barry is not the answer, and he just has to suffer through it, right? It would be hard to fire him or hard not to bring him back if he is a part of this Super Bowl team. But like I said, if you're like doing what he just did right now, where he gave, they got 32 points, yeah, in garbage
Mhm.
time or whatever, but they were 2 scores away from getting close to tying it. I don't know. I just let's just see. Like I said, this guy has found a way in his elimination games to fucking show up, dog. I can't stand it. But
But
right now,
hey, like you said with Aaron Jones, if you don't play all year and you do this in the playoffs, it's like, okay, great.
Joe
If
Barry,
Joe
same
Barry,
thing.
same thing.
God, that's terrible. Oh shit! I just saw that we're 10-point underdogs to the Niners. It just came up.
Jesus.
So, but it's okay though. I'm okay with that because we've performed well as underdogs in comparison to when we were the favorites. We've lost all the games we're favorites in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Like, I'd rather us be slept on for the rest of the playoffs because that's the thing. Like, there's no pressure on us. Like anything, everything. Like they always keep saying house money, which is true. But the fact is, like, that Paul Rudd gift is so encapsulating of this season and of where we are right now. No one thought we would be here. No one expected us to be here, but here we are, and here we go, right? And that was my ode to Dak and his "Here we go," because here we go, baby.
Real quick, a note that I just saw
Yeah.
SportsCenter tweet out: Aaron Jones had 2 touchdowns in the regular season this year. He had
Mm-hmm.
3 this week against the Cowboys. Dude, Aaron Jones does not miss
He
against the
doesn't.
Cowboys.
He really
I don't know
doesn't.
what it is, man, but he just fucking will not. He will not lose to the Cowboys.
I agree. He is. That guy plays with his hair on fire in Dallas. I don't know if it's the turf. I don't know if it's just in Texas. He's from Texas, but holy crap! Like it's pretty uncanny to see how well he plays there. And I'm just telling you, man, this team, man, it is. I've never seen. Like, I can't wait to see the post game speech by LaFleur in the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if Gary's going to try to ragdoll him again. But the truth is like Romeo Dobbs, bro. Let's talk about Romeo Dobbs, man.
Let's.
My man, like, dude, Jaden Reed didn't have to do anything this game. He was like a decoy, really, right? Watson was a decoy too. Romeo Dobbs, like, I remember how like Justice Mosqueda's always be like saying like Romeo Dobbs Hall of Fame, and then he was like talking shit about Romeo Dobbs' hands. Like, oh, his hands suck, whatever,
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
His hands were on point today.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap! That bad. He had the game that we thought CD was gonna have.
Yeah.
It
That's
was
exactly right.
160 freaking yards receiving, dog. Like what? What? And it wasn't like Jordan threw for 40 times. He threw 20 times.
Mm-hmm.
He was just he was just so efficient with the throws that he made. Like that's what kills me is like Aaron Rodgers did this in 2020 and then he got away from it in 2021 and 2022. And like he could have been doing the exact same thing, right? But his ego just killed him. Like he couldn't
Mm-hmm.
stand the fact of being like a game manager. Jordan don't give a shit. Jordan like shit. I'm gonna run the ball when I need to run the ball. I'm gonna throw it when I need to throw it. And it's not for him. Like I when you hear him talk, he doesn't want the limelight. He doesn't want the spotlight. He doesn't want it to be about him ever. Even when he gets game balls, he just like thanks, and he just kind of goes back into the crowd. He
Mm-hmm.
never takes any praise. He only was said a couple things about people doubting him. But my man, like he's always talked about everybody else, and I've never. It's the most refreshing thing to hear from a quarterback that we haven't heard in like probably the last 5 6 years. I mean,
Yeah.
Rodgers got away from that, right? And he just started drinking his own bathwater. And a
Yeah.
four-time MVP, I get it, but like, man, Jordan like just seems like such a good kid. Like I don't see that ever changing. Like no matter how much he does or what he accolades he gains, I feel like he's always going to be the same like very giving kid. He's not like a he doesn't want any of the attention. He doesn't want any of the
Sure.
accolades. He just wants to win.
I mean,
Team.
I will say today, this morning, I watched back to back the 2 championship DVDs from the 2010 season in preparation for the playoffs,
Yeah.
and seeing that young Aaron Rodgers is like
Yeah.
night and day to what he became from
He
here on.
was dude, he was so down to earth.
So
He
down,
just he
just
just
yeah, completely different. Um, yeah, again, Jordan today had several moments that were just so he the here's the thing. Jordan Love plays he might not make the right pass, the right throw, or the right, could be completely accurate every time. He doesn't make scared throws.
right.
He looks like a veteran quarterback. On that
Yep.
one pass to Romeo Dobbs, he's literally a second away from Micah Parsons taking his head off.
And he did hit him in the head too, by the
And
way.
he did.
Didn't get no
Yes,
damn
he
flag
did.
either. Fucking bullshit ass.
And he throws it just like Aaron. He doesn't worry about the hit. He makes the play. I mean, it's just how do we go? Like Mina Kimes said, the future of the NFC North is in the hands of a man who calls being ticklish silly body. That's where we are right for the next 10 years.
Do you remember like when we would watch Brett Favre throw the ball deep and we would close our eyes because we would be
Yeah.
like, shit, I don't know where it's gonna go. I don't know who's gonna go to, right? And then Rodgers comes in, and every time he would throw the deep ball up until like last 3 years, you're like, oh shit, who's he going to? Who's he going to? What's he
Mm-hmm.
going to do, right? The first 8 weeks of the season, I had no fucking idea where Jordan Love was gonna go with the ball. I was just like,
Right.
this dude is like just his play. I knew it wasn't him. I was watching the games like all of us, right? And we knew like these guys just weren't playing up to his level, and he had to work with it, right? But like last 9 weeks, he throws the ball, and I'm like, dude, where is he going with that ball? Like that one to Musgrave, and then like just those crazy passes where you guys are freaking wide open. Like that is literally Matt LaFleur in his bag calling. He is calling the games of his life right now,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't believe that I even thought about getting rid of LaFleur at one point, like in the beginning of the season, because I think all of us were just like back against the wall. We're like, this team is not it, right? And LaFleur has just honestly, like, I don't know how the coach of the year voting goes, right? But this dude, like, I know D'Amico Ryans will probably get it just because Houston was freaking garbage, and now they're like, already got a playoff win, right? But if it ain't D'Amico, it should definitely be it should either be Stefanski or it should be LaFleur. I mean, just for what he did with what he had.
Yeah.
We're the youngest team in the NFL in the playoffs, in the division round. Dude,
I mean,
look at us right
Matt
now. This
LaFleur
is crazy.
Matt LaFleur deserves to be in the conversation. Like
100%.
there's no question. I was just looking at the drive summary for the game. Here's the drives to the Packers. Touchdown, punt, touchdown, 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 punt, punt, end of game. Holy shit. Like that is insane.
It's crazy too, because like I remember the last two games, right? Like against Minnesota and against Chicago, the scores were like not great, but we could have probably had 30, 40 burgers on them too,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Especially that
And
Minnesota game. Yeah.
especially the Minnesota game, right? And I'm looking at this game, I'm like, this is what we could have been doing all year probably, but just the team wasn't there yet. Now it is. And Corey said it today in the watch party where he was just like, dude, we are literally getting hot at the right time.
Yeah. And I mean, you know what? I want to say this too. Go back to the defensive side of things because I don't know if it was players or so this game. Somebody in the chat earlier said it. It felt like that Atlanta divisional game
Mm-hmm.
where this defense was just ball hawk.
Yeah.
It wasn't sit back and wait for the play to come to you.
No,
It was go make the play. We haven't seen that all year long.
no.
And
We
this
haven't had a
and
Tremont Williams, man. We haven't had a
right
high riser coming in and doing pick
that's
sixes and doing like just crazy stuff, right? And like,
but hey,
whew,
dude, Savage getting a pick six before the end of the half. Another guy dreadlocks right before the half, scoring the interception touchdown. That felt a little too on the nose.
that felt like a little much like redeeming, like almost like he was like doing that to spite of me because I've hated on
Right.
Savage all year. And I saw number 26 running with the ball, and I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like this man, like he did what right now? Like,
Yeah.
no, he just did not. And I'm just like, we're gonna
And
we're gonna blow these guys out, aren't we? We're gonna blow these guys out, aren't we? Like, holy
and
shit. Like,
and Carrington
what?
Valentine too. I want to highlight
Yeah.
Carrington Valentine too because there was a couple times they showed him going one on one with CeeDee Lamb,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
blankets him, and not just blanketing him, but giving him the business
Yeah.
afterwards. A rookie against an
Yeah.
all-pro wide receiver.
Yeah. When he was
Like,
playing within 5 to 10 yards, Carrington was in his game, man. When
yeah.
he was playing off is
Oh,
when like CD was getting a lot of stuff. But dude, like I kept saying it too. Like every time I saw Campbell or I saw Quay or I saw Carrington on 88, and I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? Right. And then it always just worked out somehow. It just kept working out, bro.
mm-hmm.
And I was just like, wait, like, are we a team of destiny this year? Like, are we doing this 2010 thing all over again? Like, no way. Like, no way we're doing this again. With a first year starter, 25-year-old average players, like Joe Barry's our defensive coordinator. Like, this is what we're doing right now. No. I'm like, well, we're gonna do it. This is the best time to do
Yeah.
it. I was like, I can't. I've been beside myself. I didn't eat. Like I've been in knots all day. I've
Oh, I
had like
know.
stomach issues, like GI issues. I'm just like struggling, right? That's I was like, this game just had me nervous, right? Like I didn't know what team was gonna show up for us. I figured they were gonna show up, but I didn't know like they were gonna show up like that. And holy crap, like I'm so happy I'm off tomorrow. And I haven't had a
I know.
I haven't yeah. I haven't had a sip of any alcohol right yet. And I'm just like, man, like I really want to get one. And I'm just like I want to get a couple, but man, like I think I got to work tomorrow, so it should be fine. But boy, 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 I was like, it's funny. I've been like my mentions and my like messages and mentions on Twitter have been going crazy. And I've been every time like we kept scoring, I'm like, I gotta text Dan. Hey man, what time are we going on? Because I know we're going on. Like, what time are we going on? And then like I didn't text you, and then like you messaged me like, hey dude, going on now. Sent me the link. Boom. I'm like, you already know I'm coming, dog. I was like, I didn't know when you were gonna go on, but like, oh my gosh, dog. I was like, Woo! I got everyone texting me right now. Everyone that is like everyone that is either an NFC East fan or everything else. They're just like, hey man, good game, good game, good game. I'm like,
I literally I got a good buddy of mine, Phil. He's a diehard Lions fan, season ticket
Mhm.
holder, and he was like, it was like 14-0, and he's like, you sick son of a bitch. I'm rooting for you against the Cowboys just because of what happened to us.
Yes, of course, of course. Like I'm rooting for Detroit right now. I want the Rams out. I want the Rams out. I want Detroit. I mean, dude, Detroit's a good team, but their defense could get got. I mean, that's what it comes down to, right?
Mhm.
Stafford, I think he's overrated. I'm mad that he got a ring, and I'm like, with that team can do some damage in the playoffs. I want them out. In
Yeah.
Detroit, honestly, like just there's things that Dan Campbell has done for people that I know that are Lions fans, where he shouted them out on like Twitter and stuff like that. And like one of them was going through some stuff, and he's like, "Hey, we got your back." And this like Indian girl that I know, and I'm like, "Dude, like that's really cool of him to do that, right?" And I just like the fact like he came off as hella corny and like just fake. And then I realized that no, Dan's actually a real dude, and he's actually like he's who you want your coach to be. Like we have a great coach. I'm not saying that, right? But I'm just saying like he's the kind of guy I feel like we could all run through a wall for, right? And
Yeah.
I'm just happy for Detroit. Like like Detroit's the team that's in our division that I don't mind winning. Like honestly, like they're
Well,
you
I
know what I'm
mean,
saying?
I hate their guts, but
Oh, you live there, bro. I get
I
it. Like
live there, so I have to deal with it. Um, Jerry Jones quoted after the game, quote, "I'm floored." And
he
I
said
think
that.
that he said that I'm floored. I mean, man, it's just gotta be so fucking bad to
That's
be that
I
way.
saw him. They kept zooming in on him, dude, and
Oh,
just it was like someone like stole his food stamps and is like his like Medicaid check or something, dude. He just looked so angry, and it was like he showed up to the early bird special, and they changed the hours on him, and he's like, "What the fuck? Like this is bullshit, right?" Like he had that look on his face, like someone stole his early bird special dinner, and I'm just like, "Damn, dog." Like I have no sympathy, I have no empathy, I have none of that for
none,
that piece of shit.
none.
But
Mm-hmm.
seeing him in that pain was very uplifting for me. And Johnson having a fucking meltdown
Oh
on the
my god,
halftime. I'm like, bro,
embarrassing.
I was like, dude, you're not the coach of the Cowboys anymore. I understand
Right?
they like put you in a ring of honor or some bullshit, but dude, like,
Yeah.
relax. But I'm not gonna lie, when I saw Strahan like take off his mic and he got like a 3-point stance. I was like, that's like Michael Strahan, you sir are a fucking clown, dog. That was too good. He's like, I'm ready to go in, coach. I was like, shut your ass up. Shut your ass
This is
up.
such a corny ass fucking
He is. He
show
really
there.
he is. Then they showed Michael Irvin. Irvin was like, at one point they showed him on top of like the desk or like their like where their platform is, right? Because they all talk
Yeah,
about NFL Network.
yeah.
His ass was laid the hell out. They're like, it was like the dude from Karate Kid. He's like, give him a body bag. Oh shit, dude. This has been. Oh god, this has been a good day. This has been a really good day.
hmm Real quick, the last thing I think we have to point out, because this just
Yep, yep.
popped up and I think it's we needed to mention it. The key, the real key to this game, the pass protection.
Oh god, yeah.
The pass protection, this offensive line, and not just the offensive line, but Jordan orchestrating the pass protection, putting running
Yep.
backs and wherever they need to be. I just saw Zach Tom held Micah Parsons to, or I'm sorry, the Packers overall held Micah Parsons to just one pressure on
Yep.
19 pass rushes, his lowest pressure rate in a game in his entire career. His only
Yep.
pressure came on an unblocked pass rush. Zach Tom held him 0 for 9 on the right side of the ball.
Talk
I
about a
mean,
4th-round gem, dog.
dude, Zach Tom.
all I'm saying is that like that first drive, I'm watching Rasheed Walker get walked back. I'm watching
Yeah, I was
Myers
like,
get
oh,
ate
I
up.
was
I'm like,
worried. I have to.
here we fucking go, dog. I was like, here we go, right?
Yeah.
And then Jordan doing what Jordan do. Like every time I'm like, throw it, throw it, throw it. And he just sits there, calm, cool, collective, and just gets it done. And then the truth is, you're right. Like his like Aaron Jones, Wilson, Taylor, their blitz pickup was amazing, dude. Like Aaron Jones had a blitz pickup on Parsons where I think he must have broke his rib, and Parsons kept playing
Yeah.
through it. He was grabbing his shit. I'm like, oh yeah, he fucked you up, dog. And I was like, I have to admit, like just coming into this game and coming into this season after the first 8 weeks of seeing our offensive line looking like I don't know why Butkus was like a offensive line coach. I was like questioning everything. Right now we're looking at them. They're like this fine-tuned old machine. Like they're not even like a Tesla. They're like a Lucid. They're like the other electric car, dog. They're just freaking going, man. And I'm just like, oh my god, boy!
Lucid.
Like what are we doing right now? Yeah, who is this team? It's our
What?
team. I love
What
it.
is? Again, who would have thought?
Who would
Who would
have
have
thought,
thought?
dog? Who would have thought? Oh man.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
Any final words, Amr, as we wrap it up?
last one is that I'm very happy to see that Lucas Van Ness, aka Frat
Mm,
Boy, got his first playoff sack. And I think Rashawn Gary was very close on a few, but to
yeah.
see him do that and just to see him hustle, man, like there was times when he was running after Dak, and I'm just like, holy shit, like, this boy can move. And I'm like, I just think like seeing this young team galvanize the right moment and just finding ways to win. It just, dude, we're still here, man. We're still freaking here,
We
dog.
are
This is freaking
still
amazing, man.
fucking here. I mean, you've already at this point, you've tied the best record for the like the best season for the Packers since 2021,
Mm-hmm.
2022.
Yep.
You've made the divisional round. If you get to the championship, now you've done something Aaron Rodgers did 5 times in your
Yes.
first in your
In
first
your
year.
first year, dog, with a young team, with lack of veterans,
Mm-hmm.
no starting left tackle, running back gone most of the year, number one receiver gone most of the year, number one corner gone most of the year, and literally you're literally like 2 games away from a Super Bowl. Like, are you kidding me right now, bro?
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
then
I
on
don't know
the
how
other
true.
side,
Look, you do understand like the ramifications of this game. Last thing I'll say: the Bears and the Vikings fans are in fucking shambles right now.
shambles. Someone check on Richard Sherman.
Seriously.
Somebody check on Richard
Do they
Sherman.
fear us now, dog? Do they fear us
Yeah,
now? Do
right.
they fear
How
Jordan Love
many?
now? Maybe,
How
maybe
many
not. I don't
more?
know,
Like
huh?
how many more times does it need to be proven that Jordan Love and this offense are for real? They can beat anybody on any given week. It doesn't matter.
I
How
don't care
many
how
more
good your
times do
defense
we need
is.
to teach you this
Like,
lesson, old man?
he literally has gone through probably 3 of the best defenses in the last like 8 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Minnesota was top 5. Chicago was actually top 3 for the last
Hmm.
part of the season, and then Dallas is the probably number 1 defense in the league. Now we're
Yeah.
going up against the Niners, who are the number 2 defense in the league. So like I have no fear of our offense for some reason. Like I'm just like, hey man, it's just gonna happen. It's gonna happen. But like defensively, I'm always like scared. But even like
Right.
I said, Joe Barry elimination games, he motherfucker shows up, dog. I don't know. I think someone stole his play sheet. I think like Matt LaFleur's calling the plays on offense and defense. That's my conspiracy theory, dog. This shit don't even make
Matt
no damn sense.
Matt LaFleur puts on like a fake mustache and
Like a
the
wig,
defensive play. Yeah.
gets fake bushy eyebrows or some shit because he can't have the manicured things there. You gonna know it's his ass if it's manicured like that. Shit.
All right. Unner,
Yes, bro.
great to talk to you after this one, man.
Always,
I
always,
really
man.
hope we're doing this the same. I hope we're doing this again next week, man. I
And we're
hope
doing
we're
it. I just
doing
hope
this
it's for a
again.
good reason.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly right. I hope it's for a good reason. I hope it's for a good reason we're doing this.
Hell yeah, bro.
Thank you to everybody that stopped by. The chat was great. Again, another great post game chat. If this is your first time tuning in, make sure you go subscribe to the channel on YouTube so you get notified every time that we go live for post games, for our shows the whole rest of the week. You can catch Ummer tomorrow, 6:45 Central, right?
Yep, you got it.
On Coast to Coast Packers, and you can see me 7:30 Central on Lombardi's Bar on Wednesday. Yeah, hopefully it's the same result next week.
And Genius, you on it, dog. You got it.
That's until then, everybody. Until then, as always, cheers and go
Cheers,
Pack
baby.
Go.
Go Pack. Let's do this.